Hey man, say man, what it do, man? Welcome to Motivation Mondays, man. Motivation Mondays, man, where we like to start off the week with a little motivation for y'all, man. I'm your host, Just Nate, by the way, and in today's video, we'll be reacting to a video I came across of this guy named Landon Rucker. Ruckers. But long story short, he was living in a neighborhood, and I think it was majority of white people in the neighborhood, and they basically like told him he was in the wrong neighborhood and he didn't belong there, and like try to tell him to move out. So he ended up moving. I think he ended up moving. I can be wrong. I'm sorry, forgive me if I'm wrong, but long story short, he ended up buying 9 to 10 houses on that same block in the same neighborhood where these white people tried to tell him he didn't belong. So if this video motivates you by the end of this video, man, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. If you're new to this channel, man, make sure you subscribe and turn on them post notifications, man. If you're a returning member, welcome back, man. But yeah, let's get straight in it, man. Get whatever you need for this video, man, and we diving in.
The borders. They said he didn't belong in the neighborhood. So, welcome to our channel. Today's story is about a young black man who didn't raise his voice. He raised a standard. Who wasn't just pushed to the edges. He rewrote the borders. They said he didn't belong in the neighborhood. So, he did something that surprised the neighborhood. Not for revenge, but for restoration. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Tap the like button and tell us in the comments where you're watching from. Your support helps us keep bringing you interesting stories that deserve to be heard. Now, let's get into today's story. They watched him like he was an oil stain on a white carpet, like he was something that didn't belong in their picture-perfect world of hydrangeas and custom shutters and white noise. They peeked from behind lace curtains as he parked his matte black Tesla on the corner, Locke glanced from porch swings while pretending to sip coffee, whispered behind fences trimmed too neatly to ever imagine chaos. He walked past it all unfazed, dark-skinned, well-groomed 32. Years old, dressed not to impress, but to command presence, navy slacks, crisp shirt eyes, like quiet fire posture, like a man who carried away rejection. So long that it turned into Armour's name was Landon Rucker, and for a moment, he moved into Brookridge.
Landon Rucker.
Dates. He became a story they tried not to tell out loud. They called it a community, but it functioned more like a gated performance piece of manicure played pretending at perfection with rules written in invisible ink. Everyone smiled with their teeth and judged with their eyes' lawn height. Was regulated mailboxes, had custom plaques the HOA, had a board that looked like a country club brochure, and Landon disrupted the choreography not because of anything he said, but because of everything. He represented, he didn't want their approval, didn't crave their compliments. He had come with something more radical than acceptance. He came with ownership. The corner lot had the best view in the neighborhood, a wraparound porch, a direct line to the lake, big windows that caught the morning light. Just right he chose it, because it reminded him of where he came from, and where he was going. His mother had once clean homes, just like it, mopping marble floors while her knees cracked and her back ached. She used to tell him one day he'd live in a place like that land and bought it for her, really, so she could sit on a porch. She never had to scrub, so she could walk through a front door without being asked which room she was there. The clean the realtor had smiled too wide when the sale closed, like she couldn't quite believe he qualified for the dream she was selling. They never said the words, but they said everything else. They called it noise complaints when the house was silent. His mail started arriving 2 blocks away. Twice his tires were slashed. The officer, who came out the second time, barely looked up from his clipboard, muttered, "You sure you belong here?" As if Landon had...
That's crazy. If a police officer asked me something like that and I called them to report something, man, I gotta report that officer. Like, what? What do you mean?
Broken into his own driveway, Landon didn't flinch, didn't yell, didn't offend. Instead, he installed cameras, logged dates, kept receipts, and filed reports knowing the system would fail him. But the silence wouldn't. Because Landon had been here before, not in Brookridge, but in a long hallway being told no, of walking into rooms where his presence registered as threat not potential raise in Southside making by a mother who worked doubles and a father who disappeared before he formed full sentences, he learned early that dignity was something you earned twice as hard and still might not be granted. He coded his first app on a borrowed laptop delivered. Food by day, program by night, slept on floors. Drank instant coffee and kept going when investors ghosted. He pitched again. When banks said no, he crowdsourced with friends from college. When credit failed him, he built a tech company without flash, without help, without shortcuts. And when it sold for 7 figures, he didn't buy a yacht or a penthouse. He bought the one thing they said he didn't deserve space in their world. He invited his mother over the first month. After moving in, she wore white gloves and a wide-brimmed church hat and brought sweet tea in a glass pitcher. They sat on the porch like royalty, reclaiming a kingdom that never invited them. She sipped slow, smiled wide, and said, "Feels like we belong here." Then a woman passed with a purebred dog, and pearls strung too tightly around her neck. She paused, looked at Landon, then his mother, and said, "Oh, is this your boss's place?" Beautiful home. Landon rose calmly. "No, ma'am, I own this house." Her smile flickered like a weak signal before she walked off. Without a word, his mother didn't say anything for a long minute, just looked out over the lake. "Baby, you..."
Yeah, that's crazy. Like, what do you mean? You see two people on the porch, ask them if they boss here. You don't even say hi. You don't even know these people.
"Sure this is where you want to be?" Landon nodded slowly. "Not yet, Mama, but I got a plan." And that plan wasn't petty, it was precise. He created an LLC called Brook Equity, no name, no photo. Just a business entity, quiet, clean. And invisible, he started small, foreclosure auction. Here, a family moving out of state there. He made cash, offers above, asking no contingencies, no haggling deals, closed before neighbors even noticed. He never showed up in person, always sent reps and attorneys' names on deeds. Didn't leave back to him until...
Oh, he was a quiet killer then. He was a quiet hustler then. He would get to the paper and be quiet. Duck dog getting to the paper.
It was too late. The houses began to shift. New tenants, move in families that didn't look like the brochure. Skin shades, deeper kids with box braids and basketball tattoos. And laughter loud enough to shake the HOA's artificial calm. They panicked the board, made emergency sessions. They tried to amend bylaws, tried to find loopholes, to deny the sale, sent violation notices for grass being half an inch too tall, or for basketball hoops left by the curb they know Landon had grown fluent in language exclusion. He studied their rules better than they had. Every fine was challenged, every letter responded to with legal precision. By year 3, he quietly owned 9 homes on the same block, and nobody knew until the 10th. Mrs. Galp.
Dang, so he had 9 homes on the block and kept it a secret. They didn't know until he brought the 10th house, man. That's how you come back on them. That's how you show them they not better than us. That's how you show them they not better
Well,
than
had run the HOA like a monarch, white hair pressed into a perfect bob, lived in a sprawling colonial with 4 pillars, and a red door. Had once told her friends, "We keep the wrong people out with good fences and better paperwork." When her divorce cost her more than she could afford, she tried to quietly list her home off-market. Landon's team made the call before the ink dried, offer her $150,000 over asking in cash, closed in 5 days. She never knew who was behind it until she did. 2 days after she moved out, her friend sent her a screenshot of the county deed transfer there. It was in bold black font, Landon Rucker, owner. She dropped her tea that afternoon. The next morning, every mailbox on the block got a letter. "Dear neighbors, you may not know me, but I've lived here among you for 3 years in plain sight. During that time, I've acquired every home on this block, either directly or through holdings you now lease under my company's umbrella. Welcome to New Brookridge. I believe in community and equity, not exclusion. If you'd like to discuss renewal options, my office is open. Sincerely, the one you said didn't belong." No one dare question who was in charge. Then the
Dang, sincerely, the one you said didn't belong. He did it with that.
media found out. A local black journalist got the scoop, and when the segment aired, Black Tech founder buys an entire block and neighborhood that tried to push him out. It went viral. Landon declined most interviews, but agreed to sit with one reporter who asked him the question everyone was thinking: "Why'd you do it?" Landon didn't smile big, just offer quiet, one steady, unshaken. Because power isn't always about raising your voice. Sometimes power is about buying the door they slam in your face and giving others the key. Emails poured in, letters from...
Right, man. Landon was a humble fella, man. He didn't do all that boasting, you heard me. He kept it humble.
Young black professionals saying they finally felt seen. Single mothers crying to voicemail boxes thanking him for doing what they were told, was Impossible Landon launched a nonprofit called Block by Block, helping families build generational wealth through real estate education, financial literacy, and collective ownership. 3 more cities joined in within 2 years. As for Brookridge, it didn't fall apart. It evolved. Kids played in driveways with different accents and hair textures. Fathers barbecued together after work. Lawn chairs spilled across property lines like friendships blooming fences stayed up. But
Wow, so he low-key upgraded the neighborhood. He low-key made the neighborhood lit.
fear behind them began to come down. Landon still lived in the corner house, still parked the matte black Tesla under the carport, still sipped sweet tea on warm evening.
Yeah, and he's still in the same house where them people told him he didn't belong at. That's how you do it,
To
man.
his mother beside him, her white gloves folded neatly in her lap. She watched the sun fall behind the lake and say, "You did, baby, you bought the whole block." And Landon would nod, not for applause, not for ego, but for something deeper. Because he knew he wasn't built to ask for belonging. He was built to redefine it. He didn't just claim a seat at the table. He bought the table, restructured the room, and unlocked the doors for anyone else ever told they didn't belong. And that's the thing about real power. It doesn't yell. It doesn't gloat. It builds in silence. And when the moment's right, it buys every house on the block. Not for revenge, but for redemption, for restoration, for legacy. So the next time someone tries to close the door in your face, remember Landon Rucker, the man they tried to erase with whispers and bylaws, who turned exclusion into empire, who turned dismissal into dominion. Because sometimes justice doesn't come loud. It comes with closing papers, with a name on every deed, and a mother sipping tea on a porch she never had to clean again. Life lesson. When they say, you don't belong, don't argue with them, prove them wrong in silence. Build what they said you could never own, make
Prove them wrong in silence. Don't listen to what they have to say. You know your worth, boy.
space for those that try to keep out legacy isn't given its claimed injustice. Well, sometimes it wears a suit, walks into a meeting, and says meeting is now in session. Because real power buys a block, and leaves the door wide open. If the story moved you, inspired you, or reminded you of your own worth, don't just watch, share it. Subscribe to Black Struggles Untold for more stories that remind the world dignity isn't.
Yeah, man, we're gonna end it right there, man. If this video motivated you, man, give this video a thumbs up. Man, can't nobody tell you your worth, man. Don't let nobody belittle you. Don't let nobody down you, man. We are all human beings, and we all live. We all was born of a woman, and we all will die. So, ain't nobody better than nobody. You heard? We all humans, man. Hope this motivated you guys to, never let words hurt you, man. Never let the things others do affect your journey, man. What they do don't affect you, man. Only you can affect your life. This is your life. You in control, man. Enjoy y'all Monday. Hope y'all have a great week, man. Stay safe out here. God bless. See y'all in the next vid.